It's 6 in the morning. Before your feet even find the floor, you're checking your phone. The anxiety won't wait. You spent $400 on Google Ads this month, and you're refreshing your dashboard looking for a return that simply isn't there. This graph shows the real story behind that $400 spend. You might see 1,000 clicks at first glance, but watch what happens right here. Within 7 seconds, 940 of those people left without reading a single word. The natural reaction is to crank up the volume. You hire freelancers, pay for TikTok shoutouts, and post every single day because a guru told you consistency is the key to breaking through. But the silence keeps winning. Working harder will not fix this. Your budget evaporates because attention is a war, and you've been showing up with the wrong weapons. Strategist Simba Mudonzvo calls this the invisible hemorrhage, and stopping it requires a specific map of the battlefield. The marketing advice you're likely following, optimizing product, price, place, and promotion, was invented by Professor Jerome McCarthy in 1960. It was built for a world where buying a television spot meant you had a captive audience with zero other options. Today, you aren't waiting for customers to walk down an aisle. You are operating in a zero-sum arena. Every second of attention your competitor captures is a second you can never reclaim. And this entire ecosystem is governed by unseen structural forces. To stop bleeding cash, you have to throw away the map to a city that was demolished 60 years ago. You have to understand the 5 invisible internet laws actually dictating who gets seen. In 1979, a Harvard professor named Michael Porter drew 5 arrows on a whiteboard. Before him, businesses blamed bad luck when profits fell. Porter gave them a strict framework to actually diagnose the specific structural threats draining their revenue. We need that exact same rigor today, but for a different currency. Mudonzvo's 5 forces adapts that academic framework to explain exactly why digital businesses become invisible. This model visualizes a brutal reality. Your customer has exactly 168 hours in a week. The pool does not grow. Every time another creator wins a moment of their time, your opportunity shrinks by that exact amount. The internet operates as a heavily contested economic arena, governed by 5 strict rules that do not care about your quarterly targets. Force 1 is the threat of new content. The barrier to publishing is 0. Driven by AI, over 720,000 hours of new video flood YouTube every single day. Most posts are completely submerged within 50 minutes. You cannot outswim this. The only way to survive the flood is to build an arc, creating evergreen content that answers permanent human questions and compounds in value over years, rather than decaying by lunch. Force 2 is the threat of substitute content. A user on a crowded train holding a coffee isn't going to read your 3,000-word essay. A 15-second video that makes the exact same point with a fraction of the cognitive effort replaces you instantly. It doesn't matter how meticulously researched or beautifully crafted your piece is. If the format doesn't match the specific consumer in that exact moment, you lose. Force 3 is competitive rivalry. You aren't just benchmarking against your industry peers anymore. You are on the same battlefield as a comedian in Lagos and a chef in Sao Paulo. You are competing against anyone with an internet connection who can command dopamine in the feed. This chart illustrates Force 4, platform power. Google's AI-generated summaries have restructured search, so traffic to external websites plummets by 61%. More than 3/4 of all mobile searches now result in 0 traffic to any website. Relying on traditional search engine optimization is a trap. You have to evolve to internet presence optimization, structuring your authority across social feeds, community platforms, and AI systems, so you don't depend on a single gatekeeper for survival. Finally, Force 5 is the bargaining power of the user. The audience doesn't just hold power. The audience is the algorithm. Every micro behavior, every rapid swipe, every skip, every saved post votes on what the machine distributes. The machine isn't biased against you. It's just a highly efficient mirror reflecting ruthless human behavior. When your $10,000 ad dies in its first hour, it's not a glitch. It's the user deciding within 3 seconds that they are bored. In 2020, Hollywood executive Jeffrey Katzenberg raised $1.75 billion to launch Quibi, a mobile streaming app. It serves as a perfect autopsy of what happens when cash tries to buy algorithmic favor. They forced highly polished Hollywood content onto phones, right when users were demanding authentic, raw video. They locked it inside a proprietary app with no social sharing. By violating the forces of native formats and open platforms, Quibi shut down entirely in 6 months. Now look at this comparison. On the other side is Blendtec. Their CEO spent just $50 on a lab coat and a cheap camera to blend a golf ball. By demonstrating his product in a highly entertaining, short-form video that audiences actually wanted to share, he drove a 700% increase in retail sales. When capital fights the 5 forces, the capital loses. But when even a tiny budget aligns with the forces, exponential growth is guaranteed. Yale Appliance proved the exact same thing. By publishing raw service data and telling customers exactly which machines broke down the most, they earned absolute trust. Radical honesty generated $117 million in revenue without giant advertising budgets. Traditional ads are just rent. The second you stop paying, the visibility vanishes. But compounding digital infrastructure creates owned attention, which is structurally superior and permanently yours. So ask yourself the uncomfortable question. If every algorithm on Earth reset tomorrow morning and your content had to earn its visibility from absolute scratch, would your business survive the next 90 days? Mastering these structural forces has become the fundamental baseline for surviving the modern business landscape.